basically, well, Hogan's adversary?
Well, I don't know if Vincent. I'm not sure Vincent wants me around.
Now, Roddy, I've heard a lot of things that, like, Vince and you really don't get along, but you seem to get along maybe 5-6 years ago. Was there anything that happened?
I tell you.
Come on, tell us.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Vince and I actually had quite a good relationship when I first got there. And, you know, he loved to hate me. And we went along, and in WrestleMania 2, I was boxing Mr. T, and about the second round, the arena just started chanting my name.
I was there.
Yep.
I remember, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so at that time, Hogan had said something. I got it through the grapevine. Hogan had said something that I'll just ride on his kilts. And he got all bent out of shape that I was becoming a fan favorite. Mm-hmm. And McMahon said something about, well, we'll take care of him. And so then WrestleMania 3 came, and I knew that, you know, I've been fighting tyranny all my life. You know, I'm a midget in a giant's world, and I've been on top for 25 years. And so I knew that I had to make some kind of a move. And WrestleMania 3 came along, and so I retired, you know, not meaning to retire, actually. But I had John Carpenter to do They Live. So what I did is I came out of the circle of wrestling and came around to Circle of Hollywood with a director that I was counting on. And I did They Live, and They Live came out as the #1 box office hit that weekend.
Right.
And when that happened, it put me on another level that they couldn't deny, and allowed me to come around. And before I went and did They Live, McMahon said, I'll get you another movie if you just cancel this one. I'll get you another one in 4 weeks. And I said, you won't get me one with John Carpenter directing it.
Right. That would have been in Suburban Commando or something.
We miss you, Roddy.
Hey, thanks for asking, man. You take care of yourself, and happy birthday to you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Roddy.
So then basically, Roddy, you're saying that if the movie didn't hit big, we would not have seen, McMahon couldn't have brought you back.
He wouldn't have
brought you back. Because I saw that movie, and that's a great movie, and I've heard for years that there was going to be a They Live 2. Is that any truth to that?
I just did the DVD with Carpenter about 2 months ago for Germany, and they're talking about doing a They Live 2.
That was a great movie, and it was very underrated.
Thank you. It was one of the problems was it was all about Reaganomics, and I didn't know a thing. I can't vote in this country. I'm not an American citizen as much as I'd like to be. But
the candidates aren't usually that good.
Yeah.
So getting back to your heat with McMahon, you went back there, and for years you did great business with him. You went against Bret Hart in one of the best matches in that year's WrestleMania in the Skydome.
Oh, yeah.
Put him over. And so what happened? In the Goldust match...
That was the match... That period of wrestling, the Phantom and I were a little down on the sport. There wasn't that much going on. We watched that WrestleMania, and did we have the time of our life watching you wrestle Goldust? That was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Awesome.
He's a game boy, that kid. A game boy.
Did it look as real? I mean, was it real as it looked?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You hit him really hard when they were outside the car.
I broke my knuckle.
Wow.
On his head. When I broke my knuckle on his head and he didn't stay down, I thought to myself, Rod. You know, like, there's nothing like being in the ring and giving the guy your best shot and he just looks at you, you know? That kind of brings reality to you. And then when he came at me with that car, I could see his eyes were just like big saucers, because I hit him with that damn bat so hard. And he had it floored, and the ground was wet, and I was supposed to jump to the left, and I saw the ground being wet, and I thought to myself, nah, I'm just going to take the shot.
Wow.
Boom, and away I went.
So then after that, what happened with you and McMahon?
Well, it just became... You know, McMahon never could... I sent him a baseball bat. And I sent him a baseball bat in an oak cabinet. A nice green velvet background, nice glass, little brass plates, says first come, first serve, RP. And had a hammer to break the glass. Because I told him, you know, you got more money than me, so there's nothing I can do about that, but if you cheat me on a payday, I'm going to beat you to death with this bat. But, you know, he's got a sense of humor. I think it's still hanging in his office. But because I'm not one that can be controlled. I'm not one that can be but because of my upbringing, in the sport of wrestling, I was raised in the sport of wrestling by a bunch of old timers, and I've been raised by rules. Let me see what some of the rules that they have.
What you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to think of something I can tell you.
we had Ole Anderson on. We know that a lot of stuff is 4-letter words and.
Yeah. Carry a dull knife and empty gun. Never carry a dull knife or an empty gun. They'll both all get you in trouble and nothing to do you no good. It's just saying, never take a drink at an intersection because there's too many ways to get busted. But these are some of the rules they brought it up with, but they also had a lot of promoter rules. Right. Don't hang around with a promoter. Don't go to a promoter's house. Don't get familiar with the promoter. Don't, et cetera, et cetera. And I abided by these rules. I think there was, at one time, Vince was really reaching out to try to break through this, but I was so rhino hide, rode hard by that time, I couldn't see it. And it cost me a lot of money to keep in these rules, but it also kept my pride.
Right.
They're doing some stuff now that you don't have enough money to make me do that.
The Kiss Your Ass Club, you would never do that?
Here's my, hey, Vince, I love you, but, he flexes it, he pulls his pants down, flexes his bum cheeks, and he says, "What? My ass does tricks." Anybody who's been around for any length of time knows that. That's been happening for 30 years, man. Hey, Vinny, you've been doing tricks all your life.
Wow.
Come on. Here's another one.
You're Hot Rod.
Hey, you say what you want to say.
No problem, man.
And Roddy, one thing that you did that you weren't supposed to do was you tried to unionize the wrestlers at some point.
Ooh, boy.
What happened? Did people say they were gonna, go along with you? And
I started an underground newspaper.
Right, I have a copy of that.
Yeah, and I used to put it in the dressing rooms that I was at.
Right.
And I tried to get them to come together, but I got busted, so they blackballed me the first time.
Wow.
First time I got blackballed. And so, it's not the wrestler's fault. I'm a big fan of anybody that makes a living wrestling. Everybody, even those guys that are doing that and they kiss your ass and stuff, I don't hold nothing against, maybe they're the bravest guys in the world because maybe they're doing that because they have a family to feed. You don't know what's going on in those guys' heads. This is the only check they got, and they got a couple of kids at home, and they're being commanded to do this or be fired. That's a tough position to be in.
Yeah,
I don't know what I don't know what I'd do. So I can't judge nobody there. I can only judge the promotion,
right.
and that I do, and I speak my mind, and I tell the truth about it.
Some of the fans want to speak their minds to you, Mr. Piper. Who do we got on the phone here? Donald from Sayville, get in the ring with Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Hot Rod, how you doing, kid?
Hey, you have a box of fluffy duck spotter.
I have a vivid memory of Hot Rod. Remember him fighting Buzz Sawyer in a dog collar match, and to train for it, he hung himself from the tree by a chain and said, "Move over, Mad Dog, because the Mad Dog's moving in." And from that point on, man, I loved Roddy Piper.
God bless you, man. That was the first video ever made. What do you call it? Vignette. That was the first vignette ever made. I don't know what happened to it. They actually I put the darn chain on me, and I think did I put a hood on myself?
You had the hood on it first, and then you took it off to reveal who you were.
Okay, so it was Ricky Steamboat and somebody else, and I had a park bench, and I wrapped it around there, and I said, "What do you think will happen?" And they said, "I don't know, let's find out." And they snatched the bench. Come on,
oh, man.
And so, I tried to get out as quick as I could. And then I was ruffling through the forest looking for leaves and stuff, and I had this chihuahua on the back of this pickup truck, etc. But it was a tough match. So he's another one of my frat brothers that are dead,
Too bad. Roddy, we got to go to a break. Could you hang on with us? We got two breaks to do, 2 commercials, and we'll be right back with you, all right?
I'll be glad to.
You could even help
us, Donald.
Roddy, you could even help us with the commercials if you got anything to say.
We'll keep Roddy on. Keep him on.
God bless.
Oh, yeah, Sir Adam. Thermotight windows. Thermotight windows are the best moneyed windows you could buy. I don't even know what that means.
It's
PVC
the best
vinyl.
you could buy. It's the best you could buy for your money, Phantom, and the thing they do for you is save you money. Now, I'm sure Roddy doesn't like wasting his money on fuel bills.
That's how he kept it.
I'm a Scotsman. I want the best windows I can buy.
Exactly, and these Thermotite windows will save you 35% on your fuel costs. That's not like a promoter telling you that. That's not me telling you that. That's guaranteed in writing from Thermotite.
And Roddy, you know, the wrestlers don't get paid that much anymore. Like, since when you were born, $39 rebate program, Roddy. $39 in the pocket, a little more beers for the road.
Put my order in now.
Tilt them in for quick and easy cleaning. I know Roddy's very accident prone. You don't want to do the ladder outside and climb up the ladder, Roddy. You want to be inside your nice house. Tilt them in for quick and easy cleaning.
No paint, no putty, no caulk. It's 1-800-531-WINDO.
Come on, Roddy. W?
W?
Yeah.
Windows.
This guy's a professional.
Rather illuminating insight into a very, very, very strange pair of individuals. We'll be back.
You like that, huh? Now, Roddy, this is a very serious subject, and we're not kidding about this. Beck's Classic has fitted briefs for when, your grandparents get a little bit older and they can't hold their bowels.
We're talking incontinence. Roddy, there's probably some wrestlers still around today that you might think could use these products.
Yes.
For incontinence, they've got fitted brief with elastic leg and makes your life a little easier. They've also got underpads, and these go right on the mattress. It saves you from the problem of staining sheets, mattresses, your bed. All these things are a thing of a past.
And now Roddy has a lot of kids. And I know a lot of kids take a long time to potty train.
Right.
Now, Beck's Classic has it for the kids. For these
there you go.
little trained panties and stuff like that. And I can't do this with a straight face, Roddy. Beck'sClassic.com, and we swear to God this isn't a joke. You could buy reusable undergarments that you could crap in.
Truly, if it's something for the old folks that we should be taking care of anyway, it's a great product. If your kids are 12 and still not potty trained, you got a problem.
But Beck's Classic is the place to go for this. They have affordable prices and top quality products. And if Rowdy Piper agrees it's a good idea, head over to Beck'sClassic.com today.
Get over there and take care of Grandma.
I tell you.
Now, back to Get in the Ring with Sir Adam and the Phantom.
Phantom, we're going to have to raise some rates if Roddy Piper's participating.
Can we get you on every week, Roddy, and do the commercials?
We'll give you a cut.
516-955-1240 or 631-955-1240. Roddy Piper's on the phone. Now, Roddy, I want to move to the WCW days. Some guys who I think kind of like try to put you and Ric Flair down, make you guys look bad, was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They've appeared in the World Wrestling Federation. Is that good for business, bad for business? What's your opinion on that?
The fact that they've appeared there?
Yeah.
I think it's great for the XWF.
We were going to get to that.
Yeah. Sometimes you go through stages in professional wrestling. And I think Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they were going through a stage where they're in the heights of the Peter Principle. And I understand it. You get your head so deep into it, you start living it, you start believing it, and there's an old expression: when you start believing what you read about yourself, it's time to get out.
Right.
It was like, well, we want you old guys out of there, so we can take, us young guys should be taking the main event spots. I think Buff Bagwell or something. Somebody said that or something. So they were making $65 million to the good, and so we moved over, and they went broke at $87 million to the bad. I think that's about sums it up there.
Right. I think a lot of those young guys, that's the big thing, is that they said, all right, give me the main event spot, and because they weren't drawing money, they brought you back in the main event spot, and they got pissed at that in a way.
Yes, but when I was coming up, we never asked for a main event spot.
You took it, right?
That was ludicrous. Yeah, right. We just took it. The reason we took it is we worked so hard. The promoter would be watching, and all of a sudden, you'd be getting over, and he couldn't deny it.
Right.
And that's the principle of talent and the way that you get longevity. not by asking for it.
Right.
It's like, you know, I don't know how to parallel that. You know, can I drive the spaceship to the moon today? Sure, Buff, get right in there. You got the stuff. You know?
No, I